The current coronavirus pandemic has impacted people everywhere. It's helped us to see that we're connected in ways that we never realized before. But long before this crisis, Children of Promise had been working to make wholeness possible for children around the world.
Our relationships with local Children of Promise leaders in various countries have put us in a unique position to be able to respond to those most in need. Join us as we take a few minutes to talk with these leaders and learn what the coronavirus has meant for life where they live.
You'll also find out how we can support them as they care for the children and families in their communities. And after the video, you can check out our new Children of Promise website, childrenofpromise.global, to find out more.
Well, Marlene, we are so delighted to be able to have a conversation with you tonight and to catch up about how things are going in the Philippines right now for ministry, for you, for Children of Promise. And for those who are going to watch this interview, I just want to introduce, this is Marlene Viray. She's our Children of Promise director. Although the Children of Promise program in the Philippines has a different name, so you can tell us that too. And you're brand new because your mother just retired. So welcome to the family. We're so glad for
Yes, yes,
you.
yes. Yeah. My full name is really Maria Elena Viray, and since I'm married to a pastor, Maria Elena Viray Navarro. Yeah, and I am the project since my mom just recently retired for so many years. So it's now my turn to give my effort and all my strength, to serve the people here in the Philippines through the assistance and big help of Children of Promise.
Yeah. Well, I was so delighted to meet you a few months back, and this is Heather's first time to have a conversation with you face to face. But
Yeah.
I've been telling her all about you, and we're just so excited to hear from you tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, and Sister Heather is very young looking.
Does that mean that I'm very old looking?
I don't mean that. But yeah, I don't like to ask more confidential questions about the age. I should not do that right now. Yeah.
Well, as we get started, can you just tell us a little bit about what's happening in the Philippines related to the pandemic, and what are you seeing? How is the government responding? How is the church responding? What does it look like there?
Yes. Okay. Right now we have 4,932 cases, positive cases of COVID-19, and we have 312 deaths right now, and 242 recovered. So the death numbers are more than the recovered ones, and the church, and most especially the Children of Promise, really respond very well to our global pandemic. There was a father who came over when we distributed, that our relief assistance. He was telling us that, do you know that you first responded to us than the government? And it was really, it is a really heartbreaking to know, no, that even we're just a small organization, but still the people can see that we were the first one who respond to their needs. Most especially now that we have scarcity of food in the Philippines, because we are in the third world country. And one great thing is that we appreciate the COP, the Children of Promise, for the fast response to the need of our children as well as the families. And that's where we are so grateful to the organization, the Children of Promise, because right now, since we have almost 108 million in the Philippines population, yeah, and could you imagine, the 70% are on the poverty level, below poverty level. So that the 30%, 10% are the well-off one, and 20% are the middle class families.
Mm.
So we're catering for the vulnerable families now with the global pandemic that we're experiencing.
Yeah.
So we are so blessed that the Children of Promise is really doing their part, and it's people are seeing that, they saw how we respond to them.
Mm.
And we are so grateful for your leadership, of course, no? Being the director of Children of Promise. We are so grateful that you've been doing so well
Thank
for
you.
this kind of
Well,
problem that we are facing right now.
thank you. We really
Yeah.
appreciate those encouraging words. What
Mhm.
has the government decided? Are you on lockdown or in
Yeah.
quarantine?
We are right now lockdown, but sometimes people, because of the loss of livelihood right now, people really want to earn, but we cannot be allowed to go
Mm.
outside our places. We have hours where we can go out, and you have to have a quarantine pass. So I took mine so I can move around, because when you are distributing our relief goods, you need to have a pass. And one great thing is that we have our Department of Social Welfare and Development license
Hmm.
in the government.
Great.
And we are not questioned whenever we go to the different areas, because we are serve as the frontliners during this time. So when they saw that we had the frontliners like Grace Family Helper Project frontliners, they will not question you.
Mm.
You are allowed to pass at once. So that's an advantage for us, being a licensed and registered to the government.
Mm.
And one great thing also is that our accessibility to the areas is also good, because you will not be questioned even with the barangays, because passing through the what's this national NLEX, no, the highway that we pass right now, they will be asking you, they will what are you going to do? So we just have to uh, show them our license, that we are a Department of Social Welfare Development license in the government. So they will not ask us. And that's one good thing. That's an edge for us,
Yeah.
being registered and licensed.
Yeah.
And in the church, and even in our spiritual service, we have our online live streaming. Yeah.
Wow.
And we're also thankful that we use Facebook,
Mm.
our Facebook account, no? Sometimes our personal Facebook account, and sometimes personal Facebook account to that for the church. So we're doing our Bible studies. We have our women's fellowship, no? We have couples fellowship online,
That's
and
wonderful.
it's a continuous process. So we also have our online counseling too, because we know that it's very important right now. A lot of people are very scared. They are so anxious on what is happening around, and giving them the hope that we have a great God who will comfort us is a big help for them. And that's what we've been doing right now. We have the counseling. We have everything are continuous. We don't stop. We are not unprecedented, no, by this kind of global pandemic.
Mm.
We have to continue our service, because that is our commitment to serve the people
Yeah.
on whatever eventualities that we have right now.
Mm.
And we are so blessed, because one great thing also is that because we're all Christian, we have love,
Mm.
and that love drives us to go further on what we're expected us to do. And I'm so really blessed because being a Christian social worker, it's more than my vocation, but of course my love to God
Yeah.
is the first thing that I have in life. Because how can the people know that our God is love if we being uh, His disciples is not showing them love?
Yeah.
So I always have this positivity and love goes together.
I was just going to say that it's very refreshing to hear your positive attitude in light of the fact that people are anxious and scared and struggling. You know, people are losing jobs and having difficulty finding the things that they need, food to eat, or things that they need in their homes. And to see your positive attitude that the ministry will continue on and you'll find ways to progress, continue with forward movement. That's really inspiring to hear, and it gives me joy to hear you say that.
Are the schools closed right now as well? Yeah.
Our schools are closed right now, and we don't have graduation right now. Graduation rights, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. The lockdown,
Still some
yeah,
time to be in lockdown.
yes. Because sometimes because of the need of the people, they need to go out. Most especially those who are like some of our beneficiaries, no, are vendors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what will happen to them if they will not work? No. So our food assistance is very important to them. We also make sure that, of course, the vitamin supplement
Hmm.
needs to be given to them. And extra livelihood. That's why we encourage our mothers who are at home to make, no, because we have some sewers, to make homemade masks so that we could purchase to them masks, and that's a form of income for them. Yeah. So it doesn't mean that since you're at home you cannot earn. You can still earn, isn't it? That's why they were so happy.
That's just so encouraging to hear.
Yes, because being a social worker, you cannot feel it if you are just sitting in this big table
Mm.
and with a high chair,
Yeah.
and people cannot come to you, no, because they know that you're there and they are here. So you have to reach out for them. You have to show them that you care for them and the concern.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing. Being the executive director, it's not the title per se.
Yeah.
It should be the love that we have. Yeah, that the love of God should pass through them. Yeah. Yes.
We hope that a lot of sponsors who are sponsoring children in the Philippines will see this interview and hear from you about what's happening in the Philippines. What would you want to say to those sponsors about the families that they're supporting through sponsoring those children?
I would say that I am so grateful to all the sponsors who are our partners, in developing our children, not only in their physical, mental, emotional, but most especially spiritual aspects. Because that's what we've been telling all our families that we've been serving. The grace will pass, everything will pass, but God's love will remain. And if you know the Lord, you can overcome all fears, all anxieties. You always have hope that we have God. And we are so thankful, that being our partner, you really did a lot in the development of every children that you are been helping. And one great thing is that we don't have families nor children who are affected by this global pandemic case.
Great.
Yeah, because with all our like health teachings too, We let them know that they have to boost their immune system.
Mhm.
Yeah. And through our messaging, it's a great help, because every family now have their own cell phones. So we communicate, and I can disseminate this information that the sponsor who love them so much, reach out for them in this kind of global pandemic.
Mhm.
And I was really thankful for all the support that we've been receiving from you. It was very a life-changing activity that you've been doing for our children, as well as to their families.
We're so grateful for the way that sponsors and donors have responded to our requests for additional funds to our emergency fund, so that we're in a position to be able to respond quickly when we receive news that countries are in need.
Yeah.
What ways can we be praying for you as the director of the Children of Promise program there, as well as the kids and their families? What prayer requests would you offer for us to pray for you, as well as all the sponsors who will watch?
Of course, first is their wellness, no? And this is the high time for us to be more closer to God. And that's also an opportunity with this kind of global pandemic. Because sometimes the father, who are the breadwinners, we cannot really get in touch with them closely. But right now, this is the advantage because the family is at home. So everyone is there for us to reach out for them. Because before it's only the mother, because the mother are usually at home and the father are outside to earn for the living. So now the whole family, now we can reach out more for the whole family. And that's what we've been praying. What we would like to request that the whole family will be really feel the love of God, most especially the fathers right now. Because we have a big God who is greater than that global pandemic.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Yeah. And He is in control. So we don't need to worry so much because we have a great God.
Marlene, it is always just such a joy to talk to you. You bring life and joy to the room. And so even though we're not in the same room physically, to share this virtual space has brought joy to us. And we're just so glad to see your smiling face and your cheery disposition, even in the face of difficulty and challenges. And so thank you for the encouragement and for the inspiring work that you do to continue to faithfully serve children and their families. We really are appreciative of all that you're doing.
Thank you so much too that you find time in spite of all the difficulties that we're facing. You still have your precious time. You've been using that to serve other people. And that's what we really appreciate. And we're so grateful for both of you for leading the Children of Promise.
Thank you.
We're so blessed to have you both.
We feel
I
blessed.
feel so blessed to be in this position. We're so grateful.
Yeah.